of everything is going up for the whole 500, 1% in the NASDAQ, 1% in the Russell, and almost 3% in Bitcoin. Yes, there is an upside gap fill in the S&P 500. You could also see it in the NASDAQ, and you could also see it in the Russell. So all three of the major indices, at least that we pay attention to on this show, all of them have very, very evident upside gap fills because of how weak things have been. Obviously, this is all because of the continuing tensions and lack of faith of, I suppose, this ever getting resolved. The narrow path to a U.S.-Iran deal, both sides will have to scale back demands, but their history points to a way to get it done. So we have our points of, I guess, compromise that we want. They have theirs, and right now it seems like talks are not going anywhere. But we're also seemingly getting massive, massive updates every single weekend. So literally they might just be waiting for market close on Friday. And then before you know it, things could either get a lot better or get a lot worse over the weekend. So please keep that in mind. Trump says Iranian negotiators better get serious soon before it's too late. U.S. President Donald Trump last night, or actually this morning, said, get serious soon about a peace deal with Washington or face consequences. They better get serious soon before it is too late, because once that happens, there is no turning back and it won't be pretty. This was all on Truth Social. The comments come amid ongoing confusion whether the U.S. and Iran have held negotiations over ending the war. Trump keeps saying that we have that they're ongoing and the talks are going well with Kushner and Witkoff, and then the state media of Iran is basically saying, hey, we're not talking at all. So we're going to be finding out, and it seems like whenever we find anything out, sometimes within minutes, sometimes within hours, it is just completely reverted. So be ready for that. It feels as if we're going to have a little bit of a crazy day, and pretty much every day recently has been a bit crazy. All right. Let me get the options flow up for you. I'm doing my best to not really do anything too crazy early in the session, just because of how much, I guess, whipsaw and changes and that type of stuff we've been seeing. I did trade before the market opened. I just saw a good opportunity here. Thus far, well, we were going up, and the S&P 500 just took a hit. For those of you who are curious, these are all my key levels on the S&P 500 today. I do want to remind you that right here, I somehow deleted it. Let me actually change this. We'll make this one a random pink one, and then the coordinates are 7.5. So we rarely have this up, which is why I guess, wait, why is that not showing? Oh, it's a little light. But anyway, let me switch myself over here. This pink line at 6475, once again, that is in play today. That is the put side of JP Morgan's collar position. If you don't know what a collar position is, it means when you're long the underlying, in this case, the S&P 500, you sell calls, and that's a covered call position, and then you turn it into a collar by using the premium you gain from selling the calls, and you buy puts, or you get into a put debit spread. And that's exactly what they did. So the put side of this collar is structured at 6475. It is downside protection. That's basically a freebie downside protection from all the calls that were sold. So this is clearly in play, and it's going to be in play all the way up until Tuesday of next week. It expires at the end of the month, not the final options month, but the actual last day based on the Gregorian calendar. So Tuesday, March the 31st, so next Tuesday, or I should say this upcoming Tuesday. So this, in the meantime, is worthwhile to mark out on your chart. It kind of only comes into play 4 times a year because they structure it every single quarter. So we kind of rarely talk about it, but this is one of those circumstances where clearly it has quite a bit of gamma influence. Obviously, a lot of people like myself are talking about it. It has a big implication on what the market makers should be doing, shouldn't be doing. So it is something that I would say not only for today, but literally up until Tuesday of next week, pay attention to. And then the other thing to pay attention to on Tuesday of next week is where they roll it to. So they're going to be rolling this position, and obviously it's going to be useful to, in real time, not only pay attention to the roll, because as they're changing it, there could be a big impact in price throughout the day. Like we see a lot of whipsaw on those days. And then from there, obviously, just kind of understanding where the new strikes are, because they're going to be pretty freaking important. So anyway, just wanted to call that out. Obviously, the other unique thing of today is this upside gap fill. Once again, 6568 if you're trading the S&P 500. And if you want to know where it is on the SPY and the Qs, you just have to look at the low value of the daily chart from yesterday for regular trading hours. Oil is climbing higher and higher and higher. It's currently at 94. Bitcoin's going lower, and the market is currently taking a little bit of a hit. The Mag 7 options in real time are taking a hit. Holy cow, brother. Holy cow. As you can see, I was already trading a little bit this morning. I locked in my 250 on Lucid. I locked in the exact value I needed to get another payout on FFN. These 7 PVs, those are the funded accounts from Funded Futures Network. I got the exact values I needed to lock in another 2K from each of these. So I got another $10,000 payout just requested before the market opened. On Tradeify, I hit the goal I needed, $9,000 of profit. Started at 150K, so 9K, 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 9K. So I'm done there. So really, the only other accounts where it's like somewhat of an advantage for me to potentially trade today are these 3 take profits and these 3 legends. So really, I already hit what I needed to on the day. So the only other ones where I'm not necessarily capped is the take profits and the legends. So if I choose to continue to trade today, which I might, I see some interesting opportunities here. I might just trade on these TPTs and these legends. So at most, I'm only trading on these bottom 6 accounts. So done with Lucid for the day, done with FFN, done with Tradeify. Hang on, what's the flow looking like? It's 6 minutes into the day. It's getting hit. But what about the upside gap fill is something that really needs to be considered here. I don't necessarily just want to like rip a short position knowing that there's going to be people targeting the upside gap fill. I don't want to just rip a short position. I think patient. Bitcoin just caught a bid. Oil. Yeah, it's a little too choppy out of the gate. So just waiting. Just waiting, just waiting, just waiting, just waiting, just waiting. Just waiting. What time is it? Hang on one quick second. Hang on. Let me update one thing over here. Okay, let's get some music going. I'm trying to do my best to not rush a trade. I feel like recently my entries haven't been the best, and I feel like I just need to either I'm a little too late or I'm a little too early. I don't feel like I've been in that sweet spot that I'm really the most happy with.
Order filled.
So let's just wait. And also, not that it's promised today, but recently we've been seeing a lot of those 10 a.m. reversals. So I just want to call that out, especially if we're trading down right now. There could be the old 10 a.m. reversal that sets up the upside gap fill. Is it a guarantee? No, but just something I want to call out to all of you. And let's, let's listen to the Red Candle Club to get us going today. All right. What are we seeing today?
Stop filled.
Mag 7 still getting hit. Wow. Nasdaq getting hit. Oh, Mag 7 looking weak. We're still kind of consolidating. We dropped a little bit, but kind of flat. But then the Qs, the question is, which way? Options flow not looking the best. 5-minute momentum is bearish. 10-minute momentum is bearish. 30-minute momentum is bearish.
Order filled.
All right. All of momentum is bearish over here. Nasdaq 5-minute is bearish. 10-minute is bearish. Where is this overnight low? The overnight low was misdrawn. All right, we just took out the overnight low. A little bit of a reaction there, not the end of the world. Okay, so if we had to draw out some of the key levels, I would actually say all the way down here. So yeah, watch 24,000 flat. If you're watching NQ, obviously this is just a key technical, psychological level, 24,000 flat. All right, let's see. Let's see what we have today. So initially, we are seeing a pretty clear reaction at the overnight low. Buyers are stepping in right there. Overnight low was made at 8:35 this morning, and we just bounced right there. Let's see. Let's see. I did take a short position, by the way. And I'm break even right now. But I'm looking at the options flow. I'm trying to get in and out before that potential 10 a.m. reversal, to be completely honest. I'm like, okay, if I could catch a flush of like 100 points now and just be done before it gets rocking, feels like it might be a good day. Feels like it might be a good day. Oh, okay. Where's my 1 minute chart? Where's my 1 minute chart? Here we go. I tried to play this breakdown. Honestly, it worked for a second. I was up 20 points. Hoping it gets rejected at VWAP, the 50% retrace. Whoa, kitty. This cat's fast. Comes out of nowhere. This cat's fast. Piper, we're trading today. Like I said, I'm only trading these bottom 6 accounts, the 3 take profits and the 3 legends. Yes, they are all funded. It's just I've already hit my goals on all these other ones. I'm already done with Lucid. I'm already done with FFN. I've already passed these Tradeifys. There's just no advantage to me trading any of those anymore. So the ones where it's still reasonable, like upside for me, like as in if I do well, cool, that's worth it, is the 3 take profits and the 3 legends, which is why I am trading those right now. Obviously, I was doing a little bit of pre-market trading, got lucky, got on the right side of some of these movements. This trend isn't looking so good. What time is it? 9:42. So we hit that. Let's see. I need a little bit of a rejection here. All right, we're at that 50% retracement, and I need VWAPs. Okay, let me get this. Just as a quick reminder, the orange line is the regular trading hours VWAP, and the white line is the session. So basically anchored VWAP versus session VWAP. I find that sometimes like when one is very, very far away, just doesn't really have the most influence. But then when you have one like this one that's a lot closer, it might be acting as a point of equilibrium, a point of like larger player reaction. So kind of interesting to watch it. And this time around is at 104 and you have the psychological level at 100. So definitely paying attention to it. We don't need that one. Actually, I want to know if we come back. We're ripping right up. So we're full tripping the 10-minute Orbo. Yeah. So we broke down on the 10-minute Orbo in the very first minute we could, the 11th trading minute of the day right here where I got in, and now we're full tripping it. I've been watching this dude with YouTube's industrial electric parts for silver. Interesting. Feels like it's a lot of effort though, especially what happens if commodity prices just completely plummet because it's like a FOMO pump and dump. Okay, the IB high, that's 160. They might be targeting 160. Then there's the session VWAP is all the way up here at 200. Probably should have gotten the fuck out of this trade. Just went slightly red on the day. Like I said, I had a pretty good morning session, so I was kind of playing with the house's money. Now I'm slightly red, but let's see how this one plays out. Does not feel the best at the moment. Damn, I should have. It happened so quick in that first minute, that breakdown right at, I guess, 9:39. It happened so incredibly quickly that in hindsight, I should have taken my profits at the overnight session low. That is commonly, especially for the opening session, commonly a reaction level. So what was it, 69. We overshot it down to 63. If I was quick, I would have taken off right at that overnight low. And then obviously if I had multiple contracts, like the other one would have been set to break even, and then I would have tried to ride the trend. And obviously in this case, it would have been knocked out for break even. But in hindsight, that was probably a higher quality way to play the situation. Wow, we are going right up to this VWAP at 206. We are ripping right up to it. What time is it? It's 9:45. So 10-minute Orbo, 200.
Order submitted.
All right, let's see if this actually gets a fill. I'm not buying this bullishness whatsoever. I understand that there's the upside gap fill, but even if filled, I don't think it'll last that long. What did we just get to? We got to 62. The upside gap fill is 68. The upside gap fill is 68. How much drawdown do I have? I have like 4,000 of drawdown to play with today. All right, let's see. Maybe I shouldn't do it at 200. Maybe I should throw it in at 206, like right at VWAP. Or maybe it doesn't even get up there. Maybe an overshoot. Maybe something like 220 would be better. And then I guess if it starts to get rejected there, I could always just throw it on myself. We'll see how this one plays out. Keep the faith. Oh, no. I feel pretty confident in my bearish opinion on this. Just because all the momentum's still bearish. Now, obviously, if it's switch bullish, I'm going to get out. I want to be clear on that. I'm not married to this. It's just right now, looking at the options positioning, looking at momentum, it is still all bearish. If it starts to switch bullish, okay, that's a completely different scenario then. But for right now, the way I view the market, and I'm not saying that this is perfect, I'm just saying my framework for trading, the way I view the market, I'm happy to be bearish in this scenario. And it's more of a reading of, once again, options flow and momentum. If options flow and momentum switch bullish, guess what? I'm going to switch bullish. I don't necessarily have to be bearish today. It's just what I'm reading. Once again, putting together options flow, putting together momentum. In fact, the only thing I see going on that actually favors the bulls is the 1 minute momentum has now switched bullish, but that makes sense if they're targeting VWAP, and it makes sense if they're targeting the upside gap fill. But they would need quite a bit of follow through in this scenario. To get the momentum to like legitimately switch. We'll see. Just patience. I'm literally waiting for this upside gap fill. I'm seeing if this can get faded. Now, I have I'm not trying to predict that it gets rejected here. I just like the risk reward of it. Now, obviously, if it keeps going, guess what? I just get out. But right here, if we hit this upside gap fill, I give it a 50-50 shot. That's my prediction on 50% chance we keep going and maybe we hit 580, 50% chance that we get rejected. So I'm fully like, those are my odds. Like, that's what I think can really be happening here. But I just like the risk reward of it, where if it keeps going, I have a small loss. And then if it gets rejected, I get to ride it all the way back down. So I'm not trying to present this opportunity as like, no, I guarantee it happens. I'm just saying in the 50% chance that it does happen, the risk reward is pretty asymmetric. So I think that's like an important clarification. An important clarification. Where do I see here? Hang on. Thick thoughts. Very much a We haven't quite gotten the upside gap fill yet. I'll set an alert there just so we know. But once again, SPX is 6568.41. If you're looking at it on SPY, it is 654.24. And if you are looking on the Qs, it is actually quite a bit higher. It's $2.5 higher up here at 585.69. So the Qs have the most distance to go right now. Oil is taking a little bit of a hit. Bitcoin's starting to turn now, though. But oil coming down, I mean, right now it's a pretty good inverse correlation. But if you are playing the upside gap fill, I mean, we are very close to getting the fill, but that's probably pretty frustrating because we got absurdly close at 948, and there was just no follow through. No follow through. Patience, 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 patience. Question for all of you. As much as I think it's a 50-50 chance that we either go higher or lower after the gap fill, how are you guys feeling at that point? Are you thinking that we actually continue higher and maybe make the trip up to the start of the transition zone? Maybe we go for the red to green test? Or do you think that it's going to be smacked here and get rejected right back down? Like I said, in my mind, it's a 50-50 shot, but I'm just curious if you guys have a bias one way or the other. And I guess I'm a little bit curious about maybe why you have that bias, like what's backing up your reasoning for that. Higher and lower at the same time. Getting smacked, reject, higher, taking out the London high. It's going to move right. 51.49 higher. You're giving yourself a 1% edge. Well, we're about to find out because we are hitting the upside gap fill right now, and we are at VWAP right now. I had an overshoot target just in case there's like a weird little pop, and obviously that would help my average quite a bit. But for this particular contract, I'm going to be trading these contracts independently. So I'm going to remember that this one's in at 84. I'm going to be remembering that this one's in at 220. So I'm going to be trading them separately. And on this second, ooh, I didn't get the fill. Fuck. No, dude, if this just falls from here and I was that close to getting my fill. Oh, brother. What time is it? 9:52. Well, this time the 10 a.m. reversal might be to the downside because we've been pumping a bit here. Dude, if it vomits from here, you can be critical of Trump and still think the other side is batshit crazy. Oh, that's completely acceptable. It's very fair to say that Trump's made poor decisions, but still think he was our better option relative to the Harris and the Harris campaign. Like, that's allowed. Oh, I cannot believe that. Off by 1.75 points. I'm still going to give it a shot here. I'm not going to chase it quite yet because I'm not seeing enough weakness. NASDAQ actually popped. Here's a look at the Mag 7. Here's a look at the Mag 7. Here's a look at the S&P 500.
Order filled.
All right. So to, I guess, like verbally explain here what's going on. I care whatever the height of this current pop is. I care a lot about that because obviously that's what I'm going to be anchoring quite a bit of my risk to, especially on this second contract. I know this is a little bit more of maybe a confusing technique, but I am trading these two contracts independently, which is why I marked them out on my screen. I know it gives you the average value, and I guess I could utilize that if I want. But really what I care about is this breakdown of 184, the recent low, because right now we have higher highs and higher lows on the short time frame, but overall momentum is still bearish. So what I'm looking for is for this shorter time frame momentum to snap back in favor with the higher time frame, more of the medium time frame in all reality. But I I kind of want to see this VWAP retest, and if it keeps going, I just have to cut bait and admit I'm wrong. But right now, still trading with overall trend. Obviously, it's not looking good right now, but in all reality, I'm actually pretty comfortable. I guess if I wanted to, I don't have to trade them independently. I guess that's up to you. Obviously, it gives you the average value. If I want to cut my risk in half, I could literally just dump one right here, and that's a break-even trade. And then I just have to keep in my mind that I actually didn't get the fill at 220, but I'm actually basing it off of 52. That's fair. That's just more of a charting platform thing of how they do it. But what matters to me most right now is actually snapping VWAP. If we hold above VWAP, I'm screwed. I need this to break down because that's basically the rejection level, which kind of goes in line. Hang on. This isn't our song, so I'm going to get in trouble with DMCA. But this is what I'm watching, this white dash line. And it also happens to align with the $100 value of 200. So this is a very important region to me. Obviously, I took the short here at 220. I probably should have got out of this one. I already explained this one, that I was way too slow to react. It just, the dump happened so quickly. I was targeting the overnight low. It just hit it and then bounced so quickly that I didn't really have an opportunity to react to it. Obviously, I wish I got out at break even, because then I could have just taken this trade at 220 and I already be up 20 points, stop at break even, and it would be a freebie play. So another day and another example of how my entries are just like, not really my reaction time to these entries and some of these fast moves. It's something I want to improve on for sure. Something I very much want to improve on. Why is okay, there's the VWAP. I need this to break, and I need this to break like now. I want it. What was this one? So the recent low is 195, but I care about this low here at 953. At 184, and it's getting to that time in the day where I'm putting two concepts together. I'm putting together the concept of the VWAP rejection in favor with the medium time frame momentum, and at this point in the day, I'm putting together the concept of the 10 a.m. reversal. It is 9:57, 9:58. It's not an end all be all. Like, I don't want you guys to think, oh, every single day at 10 a.m. just reverse price action. It seemingly happens about 3 out of every 5 days right now. But even that, those odds do seemingly change. All right. What would be the smart risk management thing here? Probably to cut my risk in half by seeing...
Order submitted.
Oh, locking this one in. I should probably... I need this breakdown here. Right here. I'm watching this swing low at 953. If you had fair value gaps, if only, dude, if only I had fair value gaps and trend lines, this would never happen to me. This would never, ever happen to me. If only. If only, if only. I'm wondering if 145 is a bit aggressive. I wonder if I should just do it right at 150. Is my cat screaming? Piper? I think this is going to legitimately break down, but just in case I'm wrong, because remember, I'm wrong half the time, I am cutting my risk in half by dumping it at 150. Or I'm attempting to, at least. Come on, brother.
Order filled.
All right. So remember, my average is actually 152. So I know it shows it like this because they do first in, first out. So I just want to be clear. I want to be transparent here. It's because I dumped one of two. I was in one at 180, the other one at 220. So the average is 150. So it shows that I'm up quite a bit. And this is honestly, this is exactly why I got out, because look at, we are reacting to VWAP right here. We are just ping-ponging in between the two VWAPs. So, I mean, I could have been really conservative and gotten out of both and then just kind of reestablished it to see if I'm on the right side of trend. Obviously, in retrospect, I kind of wish I did, because I could have gotten out both there. I could have reshorted here, and I would have been all hunky-dory. But I at least met myself in the middle by cutting the risk in half when I had the opportunity to do so. So that's a bit of a bummer. Really, really strong reaction to the anchored VWAP right there. Actually, a massive reaction. I mean, actually what the fuck's happening. Is there an announcement? Someone said Trump speaking. Can I get a link for that? Can I get a link for that, someone? News. Senior Iranian official, Iran has reviewed U.S. proposal that has been conveyed to Iran via Pakistan. So I guess that pump is literally just that they have reviewed it. Interesting. Could be a little double top. Or it could be the signal for me to get the fuck out. So really, really happy. You never know when random news is going to hit. Never, ever know. So I thought it was prudent of me to cut my risk in half when I had the opportunity, which is exactly what I did. Matt, can you give an opinion on the Revolution reevaluation of Go? Seeing a lot of talk on feeds, wondering what it would do for traders and the economy. Well, are you investing in it or trading it? If you're trading it, don't worry about any of the larger economic talk. Literally just trade the trend. If you're investing in it, I mean, I think it's good to be 5-10% of your long-term investment portfolio, but don't conflate investing and trading. Trading, like that bias of news and politics and war, is not good. Trade the trend. If the trend is bullish, be bullish. If the trend is bearish, be bearish. As a long-term investment, that's when you need to consider some of these other external forces. Oh, I don't have the best feeling about this one right now. I need this to, like, once again, aggressively fail, like right here. This is all seemingly news related. Iran's assessment is that the one-sided and unfair, serving only the U.S. and Israel interests. Iran's initial response, which was also conveyed to Pakistan, was that the proposal lacks the minimum requirements for success. There's still no arrangement for negotiations and no plan for talks appear realistic at this stage. Turkey and Pakistan are trying to help establish common ground between Iran and the U.S. Diplomacy has not stopped, and if realism prevails in Washington, a path forward may still be found. This is all from a senior Iranian official. None of that actually sounds good to me. I'm actually surprised that it caused this pop. But it might just be a pop right back to the initial balance high and VWAP and a failure, which is obviously what I will be paying very close attention to. I am passing my take profit test account. I could do scratch trade even though I'm $6 above the profit goal. Yeah, but just be careful to not go below, and don't forget to think about commissions. Because if you have a losing trade or if the commissions add up too much, that might knock you down below. So you might want to trade like a micro. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. Oh, brother. All right. What's the community's best guess? VWAP bounce or VWAP failure? VWAP is 203. What is everyone's best freaking guess? Best guesses only. No bad guesses allowed. Best guess right now, VWAP bounce or VWAP failure? Bounce, fail, playing the fail, down hard, fail, fail. Whoa, well, there was a bounce. Thus far, I'm not saying we've actually bounced yet. I'm just watching this overall structure. I mean, this is obviously, look at bounce, 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 bounce. So time will tell. They seemingly intentionally swept that low just barely at 97 to get people locked in. Brutal game out there today. A sweep failure? Well, thus far, that's what we had. We swept it, they bounced, but also sometimes we've seen this double situation where they sweep this low, they sweep this high, and then they go in the first direction anyway after freaking everyone out. There was just like a lot of sitting buy orders there. That's why this happens, is people have the buy orders right below the low, and that's why you go right below, and then it bounces pretty hard. But we are not out of the woods yet, team. We are not out of the woods yet. So looks like the drop in the pop was Iranian state media. Jesus. All right.
Order
I'm
filled. Order submitted.
Would love to scalp out one at 55 here. Just got in at 88. That's a 30-point trade. That's $600. The other entry was here at 220. I could leave that stop at break even. My fill is right above VWAP. So like I said, I'm playing a 50-50 game here. That is pretty much all of trading. Active trading in the short term. I get that people tell you they could sell you a magical, mystical model that's right 85, 90, 95% of the time. But all realistic traders understand that short-term trading, day trading, scalp trading, well, day trading, scalp trading is a little different. Day trading is a 50-50 game. You can win a 50-50 game. I know at first that sounds counterintuitive, but really think about the math of it. If we're playing a game of quarters, and every time it hits heads, I pay you $2. Every time it hits tails, you pay me $1. Well, yeah, of course you're going to want to play that game because you're going to be net ahead. So because I'm saying this game is a 50-50 game, don't let that freak you out. Don't let that freak you out whatsoever because you still have positive expected value. It's all gambling. You know, I always think that's a really weak argument. Like, what isn't gambling? Going to college is a gamble. Getting your job is a gamble. Getting married is a gamble. Having a kid is a gamble. I don't understand that when people like to say, but it's still gambling. What isn't gambling then by that definition? There is a perception of risk. There's a perception of reward. There's potential risk. There's potential reward. You're accepting the potential risk to ideally get the potential reward. I think people like to say that it's still a gamble. Like, what isn't that? Like, welcome to fucking life. That's not my argument. I know that's not your argument. I was saying I took your statement and I took it to the next level. Not liking this failed breakdown here at 180. The amount of times it was testing 200 and it snapped below, that's why I was interested in getting in. I need this to fail and to fail like actually pretty fucking quickly. Are we going for the upside? We already got the upside gap fill on the S&P 500. Ooh, the SPY just popped out of nowhere. Mag 7. Ooh. All right. I can't give this much more room. I need this to like actually fail here at VWAP, or your boy has to just admit he was wrong and get out, because I don't want to get caught up in some gigantic trend reversal. Generally, markets don't, like, most of the time you persist with whatever your current trend is, but obviously that doesn't mean 100% of the time. All right, Trump holds a live cabinet meeting. This is what I'm getting caught up in right now. I kind of wish I wasn't, but Trump's chit-chatting, or it's about to get going here. I'll turn the volume up. We're not going to miss it. But this is probably why the market's being a little erratic in all directions, is because traders are betting on either what he's going to say or what he's not going to say. All right. 5-minute momentum is bullish. 10-minute is trying to go bullish. 30-minute is still bearish. Be very careful about just ripping it bullish right now. The 30-minute has not gone bullish. The 4-hour has not gone bullish. Looking at the NASDAQ, yes, the 5 minutes bullish. The 10-minute, not even really that convincingly. 30-minute is still bearish. 4-hour is still bearish. Don't get faked out. Yes, I admit the trend can change, but it has to put in some serious work to actually go legitimately bullish on a day trading perspective. So please just don't get faked out. And look at that. AMC squeeze incoming. Oh yeah, I think it's scheduled for tomorrow. Did you guys hear that as well? Yeah. I heard tomorrow. I was talking to my friends in the dark pools. I was talking to my market maker buddies at Citadel. I think it's scheduled for Friday, March the 27th. Is that what you guys heard? I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. Yeah, something about the naked forks at 4 p.m. PM. I heard April 1st. No, April 1st. Another strong date. That's the next squeeze. They're actually going to squeeze it twice. The bigger squeeze is going to be April 1st. Oh, we don't need these silly trend lines. We just need all the fair value gaps, folks. Already all in, won't miss this one. That's the smartest way to play it. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be I mean, some say the financial sector, it's going to be so big that the entire financial sector won't even be able to handle it. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. All right, stay below VWAP. VWAP is this white dash line 204, and then anchored VWAP is 160. I'm targeting the 50% of the initial balance. That is, so you have the red dash line on top, the red dash line on the bottom. That is the current intraday session high and low, and then the blue dash line is that 50% level. It's the halfway mark, another very common level. I'm seeing that that's aligned with the anchored VWAP, so I think it's a reasonable point for me to scale out one of my two contracts. And then obviously I hope that it hits. I can put my stop to break even, and then maybe the trend will persist. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's obviously been quite a bit of a crazy day thus far. And Trump's about to talk, so who knows? He could say something good, he could say something bad. Right now, as much as I try to remind everyone this game is a 50-50 game, it's more 50-50 than it's ever been. Come on, brother. Give me that money. Give me that money. Go, go, go. Please go. Please. If I say please, will you do it? If I say please, pretty please, will you do it? If I say pretty please, will it happen? So I guess putting together the VWAP rejection with the 10 a.m. reversal, it worked today. Is that going to work every day? I don't know, but it does seem as if it would be a net positive strategy. It's not something that can occur all the time because you would basically need to be at VWAP roughly around 10 a.m. But something to consider. Something to consider. Come on. I'm watching... like you could see that I am short 2. My fill is right above VWAP, right above 2, and it's ripping into my face. I have a feeling that we're going to get like 50 point plus movements like it's nothing. I was just hoping that one of those movements would be to my fill so I could get that stop to break even. We seemingly found support at 68 and right back to VWAP. Fuck. That doesn't necessarily warm the cockles of my heart. Shit. All right. Come on. One final kiss of VWAP for a vomit. Am I right, folks? Just one little final kiss of VWAP and a vomit. One little smooch and a vomit. Come on. Where's that vomit? Where's that little vomit we were promised? But all my trend lines promised me. I was promised. I was promised a vomit, right? The trend lines, but the trend lines said it. It has to happen, right? The trend line overlords. Iran's parliament speaker, Hezbollah, the pride of Islam, and known that a stockpile of surprises is coming your way, so wait for it. What the fuck? So Iran's parliament speaker is saying that they're sending a surprise to Hezbollah, aka the pride of Islam? What? This hit the trend line 3 times. No way it could lose. Oh, yeah. I think it's actually illegal for it to lose. Fuck. I think it's illegal for it to lose. Well, that was a random level for it to bounce off of. 68. It was probably a fair value gap that we just missed in our analysis. Adam Aaron just announced the shorts are effed and they need to get ready to choke on that. Dude, he is the biggest fucking dweeb. That guy should be in prison. He's a pedophile. An alleged pedophile. I don't need fucking AMC suing me. But also, he was getting catfished by a person he thought was underage. So that feels pretty pedophilic in my book. But hey, I'm just a man with an opinion. Dude, I need this to get rejected. I need it to break below 81. I need to break, just to take out these recent lows and not the recent highs like it's doing. Shit. what range we have. In reality, we're just getting pinned to VWAP. I would assume it's because the market's waiting to see what Trump has to say. So there's really no point in deviating too far from equilibrium as we're like on the precipice of a key announcement. I was just hoping I could get away with a cheeky little fill there at 52, lock that in, go net profitable, stop at break even. Yes, it would have been probably knocked out by now, but hey, whatever. I would have been good before he gets going. So, and whatever, shit happens. Shit happens. Oh, just be careful here. The momentum is still more so favoring the Bears than the Bulls. Of course, it can change. Just because I'm saying that now at 10:15 doesn't mean it's not allowed. Well, someone's trading on something here. What the hell is happening? Someone's doing something. And I want to know what they are doing. Hey, Kitty, Piper, come help us out. Still waiting on Trump. I guess Trump holds a live cabinet meeting. So I believe, and this is just me guessing, but I believe that's why we're probably seeing a bit of this just like big range choppiness in the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ right now as people are swinging it above and below equilibrium points as we're waiting to see what Trump either does or doesn't have to say. Just so you know, if you're trading NQ, there's a lot of sellers at 235. Just want to throw that out there. 235. Whoa, that looks ugly. The SPY intraday, higher highs and higher lows. We did get this upside gap fill. Obviously, a very important trend line to be paying attention to is this one on the screen. If it holds, yeah, the bulls in the very short term are in control once again on the 1 minute chart. If it breaks, that means it's legitimately bearish because the short term bullishness is reverting back in favor of the medium term and the longer term bearishness right now. So I would say watching this trend line and especially watching the low. What low is this? I would say this would be a legitimate breakdown, taking out this 959 low. So I don't know if it will happen. I'm just saying from a technical perspective, and from an order flow perspective, that means we failed at both VWAPs and probably dramatically increases the statistical chance of us revisiting the intraday low, which is all the way down here. But you never know. Maybe they want to clean up the chart. Maybe there's enough traders betting on the upside gap fill on the Qs. We got the upside gap fill on the NASDAQ. We have yet to do that we did it on the S&P 500. We have yet to do that on the NASDAQ. Oil's still coming down. Obviously, inverse correlation with the equities market. Bitcoin's just kind of chilling. Apple's up 1%. Apple's having a really good day. That's probably helping the NASDAQ and the SPY. Look at Apple. That's ripping. Anyone playing Apple right now? Apple's having a really good day. Matt, does it look like the Dow Jones index just broke out? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why anyone trades the Dow. It is like the most boring index. And I see that CNBC like continually cites the Dow points. And I think it's just because they know they have a bunch of boomers watching it. But who the fuck trades the Dow? Like at all. Like my mind is blown every single time a legitimate publication cites what's happening with the Dow. Like only boomers pay attention to the Dow. It's the boomer index. Okay. Cheddar Flow is saying the SPY will flush if we lose this level 650. So they're saying, I'm telling you, if this breaks this trend line, obviously a serious warning shot if we take out the 10-11 low, but it is legitimately bad for the bull camp to take out that 959 low. So watch the trend line. That's your first warning. The actual warning shot is the 10-11 low, and then it's a legitimate breakdown taking out that 959 low. So interesting to pay attention to. Warning shot, legitimate breakdown, target, intraday low. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Will it happen? I have no fucking clue. I'm just saying that would be a very interesting trade setup in my book. In my book. $139. Fuck this. I'm moving my target to 140. I'm right. The market's wrong. Everyone's wrong but me. I am right. The market got the pricing wrong. I am the only one in the entire universe who is right that we are going down. And you might be thinking to yourself, but Matt, I have a short position. Won't I also be right? No. I am the only one who is right in this world. Everyone else who was buying, they were wrong. I will be vindicated on the day of my daughter's wedding. All right, remember, this is the first interesting point, this trend line test. Warning shot is if we snap 169, legitimately bearish if we break the low down here at 139. And I'm front running it by 1 point because I don't want to be greedy. But Matt, you have a bull TI. No, this is a buffalo. It's a bison, which is in the bovine family, but it is not a bull. And this, as everyone knows in Native American lore, a buffalo is neither bullish nor bearish. It is just for pure luck. It is just for pure luck. Get a moose shirt on, says Moose4166, shilling us from Big Moose. A male bison is a bull. Well, that's what we call it. And to be fair, these do all look like males, so I can't even hit back on that one. But no. This is much more of a statement of overall luck than anything else. Are you a Bills fan? Yeah, I think they're cool. I'm like, the main team I support are the Eagles, but if the Eagles aren't doing well, I do like to support the Bills just because I think their fan base is like one of the cooler fan bases in the NFL, but they're not my core team just because I didn't really grow up close to them. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. No idea what that means, but I like the saying. I like the vibe. Trump is going on 23 minutes late. Dude, the dude is always late. No politician is ever on time. I get irrationally angry about it. I really, really do. Of how all politicians, all presidents, they can't keep a fucking time straight. It is so, like, it's just, what's the point in scheduling it? Why don't we just get to the point where whatever time they say, just always schedule it for an hour later? Like, come on. Like, it's always that type of bullshit. Filled. Well, this isn't looking so good.